نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. قال الله تعالى في التنزيل العزيز بعد أن نقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد. The Quran in Surah Al-Ankabut, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayah number 45, this is Surah number 29, ayah 45, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أُتْلُ مَا أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةِ إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ مَا تَصْنَعُونَ. The translation of it is as follows: recite what has been revealed to you of the scripture, and keep up the prayer. Establish the prayer, in fact, because prayer restrains outrageous, unacceptable and shameless behavior. Remembering God is greater because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything that you are doing. This ayah is a very beautiful, very powerful ayah that has many lessons in it. Many lessons in it. I actually want to focus only on one specific lesson and build off of that the khutbah today, talking about and addressing something that affects us in a very deep way, but in a very hidden way. It's something that affects us behind closed doors. It's not a public matter. And in fact, it should be kept behind closed doors, because if it is publicized, it becomes a way of a person losing their dignity. But before I get to that, I want to just highlight from this ayah the part that I will build the khutbah upon, which is إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. This is a principle, that the prayer, tanha, it stops. The prayer itself is what stops a person from what is fahsha and munkar. Two words the Quran uses here. Fahsha from the word fuhsh, it's something that overflows. When blood is gushing forth, they say the blood is fahush, has, it's flowing. You see? Meaning it's something so outrageous, it has crossed bounds. Fahsha is the type of sin that is so outrageous, it crosses boundaries. And according to Raghib al-Asfahani and others, fahsha in the Quran refers to acts of a shameless behavior, a shameless nature. The Quran calls zina fahisha. وَاللَّاتِي يَأْتِينَ الْفَاحِشَةَ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. The women who bring fahisha or do fahisha, in this ayah it's referring to zina, crossing all boundaries. As an example of the linguistic usage. So fahisha or fahsha here is referring to an act, a sin, an immorality of a sexual indecent nature. And munkar is all types of evil. This is called atful am al khas in Arabic, which is you take a small subset and then you mention the larger set. Okay, fahsha is the smaller subset, indecent activities, shameless behavior. Munkar is the larger set, all types of evil. You see, and the reason why this is done is to point attention to the subset, to bring attention to the khas. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing here. Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Salah stops a person from indecency, immorality, from behaviors that are, if exposed, would be humiliating. Salah stops a person from that. Ibn Kathir says, this is not any salah. This is not just salah that a person prays on autopilot. This is the salah of those who are seeking closeness to Allah. وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. Those who are asking Allah's help through their prayer. That is the level of prayer that stops a person. In other words, the salah as a ritual is a stepping stone that Allah has given us to stop us, to help to train ourselves, to stop ourselves from evil and especially from immoralities and indecent behavior. Salah itself isn't enough, but salah when done in the right spirit, with the right mindset, with the right spirituality, that salah that elevates a person will be the thing that stops a person from committing evil and committing indecency. Why do I bring this up? Because we are in a situation that is a very, it's a tough situation. It's a tough situation, particularly regarding the media that we consume, particularly regarding the content that we are accustomed to watching, and the unlimited nature of accessibility that we have to this content. Unlimited nature. When I was a kid, I had VHS tapes. You run out of tapes, your content is finished. Now go do something else, read a book, go play outside. Now you have unlimited avenues of just watching and consuming content. And when you have so much available, inevitably a person is going to lean towards watching something that is indecent, that is immoral, that is indecent and immoral in a sexual manner. This is the reality that we have today. This is the unfortunate reality that we face today, and that our kids are facing today, that our youth are facing today, our adults are facing today. Marriages unfortunately end because a man would be addicted to pornography and could not continue his marriage, and it ends. A healthy marriage otherwise ends because of that. This is a big issue, but because it is so, it's not out in the public. It's not the virus where we can see the masks on everyone's faces and see the social distancing clearly. This is something that is in a very much behind closed doors setting, yet it exists and surrounds us. And it's important for us to at least think about this and talk about this and have a discussion about this. The khutbah is not going to be enough to provide solutions to this. Please don't have that expectation. But my point is, we need to talk about pornography. We need to have a conversation, an honest conversation about pornography in our communities. There's some staggering stats that will take you aback if you think about it. Just in America, and we can project that on Canada as well. 68 million search queries are related to pornography. Every single day, 68 million searches are related to pornography every single day. That's 1/4 of all internet searches. 40 million. That's 1/4 of all internet searches. 40 million Americans. Next stat. 40 million Americans view pornography regularly, and at least 200,000 classify as having a porn addiction. Now, the addiction part of it itself is not. This is not a clinical addiction. Doesn't have the definition of a clinical addiction, but it is used in the same spirit. Someone who has withdrawal symptoms, someone who feels the urge to watch, someone who, when they watch it, they're pleasured. When they finish, they feel guilty. That's how they are classifying the behavior and the symptoms they see as similar to a medical addiction. But this is not classified in like the generals as a medical addiction. Irrespective, the point, the point to note here is there is a staggering number of people who watch this thing and do the searches online for it. You would ask, well, what about us as Muslims? We don't have lots of studies, unfortunately, published on the matter. But we have some small studies that can give us a bit of some clues. There is a study done by Nasiha Mental Health, which they surveyed 200 Muslims from North America. 90% of these Muslims identify themselves as being religious, meaning that Islam is important to them. Okay? It's a small sample size. 200 is not a lot. 200 is the people in this room. But again, it gives us a clue. Okay? And because it's from all over North America, maybe the study is a little bit better. 90% of these people have identified as practicing Muslims. And despite that, 53% of all of these respondents said that we're not comfortable talking about this with anybody. We're not comfortable talking about pornography with our parents or any of these issues. We're not comfortable talking about this. And 92% of those people, 92% of 200, that's 194 out of the 200 people surveyed have said that they have consumed or watched pornography at some point in their lives. That is a staggering number. So many of these people identify as practicing Muslims. I want to be a good Muslim. Islam is important to me. That is who I am. Yet, almost all of them have at point or other watched pornography or searched for pornography. And about half of them said, we don't feel comfortable talking about this to other people. So you see the nature of this problem. The nature of this problem is it's hidden. As bad sins should be hidden. That's okay. But what's not okay is it remains brushed under the carpet. Not to be explored, not to have any solutions. And then it just continues to perpetuate. It's like a termite. It's eating away at the foundations of the house. Eventually it will cause it to collapse. So this is the reality. This is the reality of our communities. And this is a serious matter. Being religious, identifying yourself as a practicing Muslim does not automatically make you immune to these urges. Because the fahsha and munkar, the Quran says, Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. When salah, when it's done in its right way, that is what gives you the ammunition to stay away from these kind of evil. But if you're not doing the salah properly, or the salah is just a ritual, or a person doesn't even pray, then the temptation is there, and they're game for shaitan to come and attack them. أقول ما تسمعون واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ولا أما بعد. The Prophet ﷺ says in a hadith, إنما بعثت لأتمم مكارم الأخلاق. I was sent to perfect مكارم الأخلاق. مكارم الأخلاق is defined as nobility and ethics. If you look at the definition of مكارم الأخلاق, it's not just, smiling. That's طبعا from good akhlaq, right? But it is actually all of nobility and all of honor. The Prophet said, I am there to perfect honor, nobility, and morality. That is my role. And he uses the word innama. Innama, when it's added to a jumla, especially if it's a jumla ismiya, it's for hasr. And this is a sentence where when the Prophet says innama, it means this is the entirety of my purpose. The entirety of my purpose is as follows: to perfect morality, nobility, and honor. Why am I bringing this up, and how is this related? Every choice that we make, publicly or privately, is a moral choice. It's a choice between something that's moral or immoral. Pornography is a choice as well. A person making that choice could easily justify in their mind, say, you know what, no one got hurt. No one got hurt. That's actually the justification that many people would use to continue watching and going down this rabbit hole that could completely destroy their lives, destroy their spirituality, adversely affect their intimacy. But here is the thing, for us as Muslims, we don't think that way. No one got hurt. You know who got hurt? The one who watched got hurt. Their soul got hurt. The morality that the Prophet came to elevate us to, that got hurt. The purpose of our existence, which is to attain that got hurt. These are not crimes that are victimless. The victim here is the one who is watching. We have to understand that. As young Muslims, as Muslims in general, we have to understand that. And then perhaps have these very, very difficult conversations in our families, in our communities, about here is a real problem. Let's not portray the person who's stuck in this as some evil person. Someone who is irredeemable, cannot be redeemed ever. No, we cannot think of our people this way. We cannot think of anybody that way. If someone is stuck and struggling, that person needs the support, the dua of everyone. Not the criticisms and the bad, vile looks of people. That is a support system that we need to be able to overcome this problem. As I said, this is not a victimless crime. It's a crime where the person who's doing it is the victim. It's something that affects a person on every level. Their spirituality, their marriages, the way they see other people, the other gender, the objectification of women. Every aspect is touched by this. Let us have some frank but difficult conversations, and let us not judge those who are stuck and struggling. Rather, let us be there as the support for them. Like the Prophet said, ad-deenun nasiha. The point of the religion is to offer counsel and support to each other. Let us be like that for those who need help. We ask Allah to give us the tawfiq to understand the Quran and Sunnah, to implement in our life. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin fil awwalin wa fil akhirin. Wa salli ala Muhammadin fil mala'i al-a'la ila yawmiddin. Allahumma ahyina ala sunnatihi wa mitna ala millatihi. Wa ahshurna fi zumratihi wasqina min hawdihi ya rabbal alamin. Allahumma ati nufusana taqwaha. وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Please make sure the lines are straight. Look around you to make sure that your lines are straight, and also please put your cell phones on silent. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.